let's get on it. Oh yeah. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a 2022 Land Rover Defender with the Explorer Pack. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover of downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with this Defender. Check out their inventory in the description down below. Let's hop right into the video. So under the hood, we have a 3-liter inline-6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 17 around town, and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 395 horsepower and then 406 pound-feet of torque. Now here's the key fob for the Defender. The reason we're showing the key fob is it has the light button on the key fob, which is pretty cool. You can turn on the light switch. I don't know, I think every car should have that feature. Anyways, you guys can see here, I love the design on this portion of the hood, and then we've got the 110 logo in the center, which I think is also pretty cool. Defender logo there, front and center, and then we got the Land Rover logo just down below. And you guys can see here just how bright the headlights are, and then around that you do have the accent lighting. Fog lights down below, parking sensors here on the front end. You can see just how aggressive all of this looks. And yeah, the Defender still to this day is one of the best looking new SUVs for sale. Coming on the side here, we've got two 55mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see this does come with these all-terrain tires as part of the package. And you can see the front suspension right here. I like the design of the wheel. It kind of has that old school off-roader type look. And then you guys can see here with the mud flaps in the front and then also in the rear as well. And taking a step back, we can see some more elements here. You got the rack on the top, and then notice how we have the snorkel there on the side. So it has that cool off-roader appearance. Give you guys a closer look here at this system right here. Super clean, very nicely integrated. Definitely nicer than like aftermarket units you see on vehicles. But anyways, that's, oh, also look how the fender flares, how much they pop out. But yeah, that's all for the side. Now popping here to the rear, you guys can see the whole hatch opens to the side, just like with the Ford Bronco and the Jeep Wrangler, except the nice thing about the Defender is the window goes with it, whereas those you have to flip up the window. Anyways, you guys can see here with the floor mats in the back, I love the coloration and design on them. I think that is pretty unique. Rubber covering here, and then you've got this little strap right here that you can pull. You guys can see just underneath there with all that fun stuff. And then you can just click it back into place pretty easily. Now, so we have the lights here in the rear as well. And then you guys can see back here, it's pretty cool the different things you get here in the rear Defender. The other part of the climate control is just there on the other side. So yeah, also notice here we've got the sky windows on top of that. But yeah, that's everything for the back. So Now finishing things here in the rear, obviously we have the giant spare tire here on the back, and it's all covered up to protect it, which I think is definitely a nice touch. Got our P400 logo. Love the taillights here on the new Defender. They're super distinctive. Parking sensors here on the bottom. You can see the massive mud flaps here, and then they got the exhaust tips there at the very bottom. And, well, that's all for the rear. Going over the rear door panel here, I love the coloration with this and how it contrasts to the blue paint on this particular one. And then down below, just as nice. You've got this, it's kind of like a backdoor blind spot, so to let you know if someone's in your blind spot before you open up the door. And then you have the seats here in the rear, nice leather. You got the perfect leather here down the center portion. You guys can see the floor mats. Climate controls here for the rear, charging ports, and I'll pop in so you guys can see space. So there's legroom, there's headroom. Also notice that we got the little charging port area, which is pretty fun, and this is like a cup holder armrest, and seriously that helps out so much. It like just lets in a little bit of extra light and it makes this feel so much more open. Let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. You guys can see again with the padding, I love the exposed rivets, and then down below all of our window controls, the mirror adjustments, memory seats here, and again for the door blind spot, but then we also have blind spot monitoring here in the mirror. Speakers for the Meridian sound system, and then you can see here for the front seats, and again really nice perforated leather. Got the controls here on, or the adjustments on the side of the seat rather. You can see the pedal layout here, parking brake, and then notice there's padding here, a little bit of extra storage, and a grab handle. And there's one more look before we pop in. Here is the steering wheel with the Defender. You guys can see really nice leather all around. You've got the darker stitching here on the center portion. Cruise control on this side. Controls here for the center stack, voice command controls on the other side. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and that's all for the steering wheel. Now here is the center gauge cluster. You guys can see RPMs on the left side. On the right side, you've got the speed. And then if we press that little button there on the left side of the steering wheel, it lets us go into this menu section. We can see a bunch of different menus on different bits of information here on the Defender, music, all that kind of stuff. You know, normal modern vehicle stuff. And there's the gauge cluster. Now here is the center infotainment system. First off, we're going to pop it into reverse. And you can see the backup camera will pop up. Notice we have trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel, and then you have the different camera viewpoints that you can press between. And notice we have on-road, and then we have an off-road mode as well, which is pretty cool. They have a distinction with the camera system. That's something that I really like about the Land Rover brand, is that they do that. Anyways, as for the rest, the infotainment system, response time with the screen is really good. I love how you have the slope assist right there that it shows. But you guys can see there's a bunch of different menus that you can scroll through here. Really easy to use. I love the formatting on it, and response time on the screen is great. And so, yeah, super solid. Now I've got a bunch of controls here in this area. So first off, we have the seat controls. This does have heated and cooled seats. Well, I did them in opposite order, but you guys get the point. You also have the dual zone climate controls, which notice you can control it via that. And then got the fan speed, which you can control with that button right there, which is pretty cool. And then we have the drive mode select, which you can control with that mode. And you guys can see those will pop up right here. So we have our eco, we have our comfort, grass, gravel, snow, mud, ruts, sand, and then you've got your rock crawl mode that you can go between. Comfort is what you'll be in most of the time on road, at least. And then when you're done, you just press that button right there, and it goes back to normal. Shifter for the 8-speed automatic transmission does have the manual shift function as well. We've got some charging ports down here, and then some extra storage space, and then this could be utilized as like another grab handle in a sense, not for the driver because you're gonna have your hands on the steering wheel, but I guess for the passenger to be more exact. And I love how rugged it all looks. And then we've got the center console here, wireless phone charger in front of it, extra storage space here. Notice it says Defender, and then you got another charging port, and then you have like another grab handle area. Tons of grab handles in this, which is great. You can see the glove box right there, really nice padding all over, and then you guys can see full panoramic sunroof here at the top. Letter and color, got the controls for the sunroof, and there you go. So here is the window sticker for the Defender. You guys can see here with the standard equipment. Feel free to freeze the frame if you want to read through all of that. And then you guys can see the optional equipment. So first off, base MSRP, $66,400. The package that this is mainly about, right, is the Explorer pack. That's $4,900. I think it's worth it for just an aesthetic perspective. It makes this thing look really cool, but obviously it adds a ton of practicality. I guess the off-road tires are a separate option, so my bad on that. And the blue exterior color looks really good, so I definitely think this is another option that's worth it. But anyways, total MSRP, $77,695. Let's take it out and see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's visibility over the hood, both the mirrors, which do a blind spot, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So setting off here in the Defender. It's been quite a bit of time since I've driven one of the new Defenders. These things sell like hotcakes. Like, I'm sure that, you know, even before I have a chance to post this video, this thing will probably already be sold. But I mean, if it's not for some reason, I mean, still check with them, see if it's available. I'll get this video posted pretty quick. But anyways, the thing that's really appealing about the Defender is just the daily drivability of this vehicle. So first off, really well insulated cabin. You don't get that with Jeep Wrangler and Ford Bronco, right? Because you can take half of those vehicles apart. So you get quite a bit of noise just from the parts, right? There's a little bit of rattling with both of them. And then, you know, there's not a lot of sound deadening with both of them. And so you hear quite a bit, whereas this gives you a luxury experience with the interior, pretty much just like any other Land Rover. You get a very similar experience here with the Defender. But you still get the cool exterior looks associated with like a, you know, hardcore off-road vehicle. And this thing's obviously super capable as well. It's not like it's not a capable vehicle. Moving on from that, seat comfort's really good. These seats have really nice bolsters. They're wider, so if you're a larger person, you'll be able to fit in them comfortably. And then in terms of the padding on the seats, it's really good. And I can tell this is the type of leather that over time will kind of wear a little bit in a good way, where it'll soften up. So right now it's firmer, but over time it'll kind of soften up as you use the seats over a long period of time, and it'll kind of form to your behind, basically, is the point that I'm trying to make. The other thing is just, it's so easy to drive. Such a easy SUV to drive. Like, it's got a really good amount of acceleration out of that inline six, and steering's, you know, again, compared to Wrangler and compared to Bronco, the steering has a good amount of directness to it, super light. And so yeah, if you're looking for like a cool daily driver off-roader, it definitely accomplishes that. We are going to begin our acceleration here in just a moment to see how much pep this 3-liter inline six has, right? Is it enough power for the Defender? And of course I run into massive amounts of traffic. That's usually my luck here, but let's get on it. Oh yeah. You can actually hear a little bit of turbo noise too. And you can actually hear this. I thought the window was down for a second, so I just checked the window. You can actually hear air being taken in through the side there, which is, it's a very interesting experience. It's cool though, it sounds cool. Yeah, more than enough power from an acceleration standpoint, I can say that. And that definitely adds to the drama, being able to hear the air there and a little bit of turbo noise as well. That's cool. I did not... Yeah, so cool. You can just hear that air just kind of being taken in. So yeah, I guess we'll sum things up with this Defender. So with this adventure pack, this thing looks awesome. I love the aesthetics of this. And, you know, I guess one thing I will say is if you are going to be doing like quite a bit of serious off-roading, obviously these 20s will be great for like on-road use and winter driving and all that. They'll get the job done. But if you're gonna do the off-roading, I'd get a second set of tires and wheels, 17s or 8. I don't know if you can do 17s, but 17s or 18s, whichever fit best. And then do you know, little bit more sidewall with the tires, and that could be like your off-road setup, right? So you could have like your on-road tire and wheel setup, which would be this, which still looks really cool, super practical, and then you could have your off-road setup as well. And yeah, I mean, this is just, it's such a nice vehicle. You get, again, like I said, you get the off-roader practicality, you get the off-roader looks, but you also get daily drivability that you don't get with the Wrangler or Bronco. So what I'd have to say is, you know, I guess it depends on, you know, what your daily commute looks like, but especially if you're doing highway driving and all that, this is the vehicle to get over those. Because again, you're getting just a massive amount of practicality with this, and it's very daily drivable. And so, yeah, if this is like if you're just getting one vehicle, it's your only vehicle, you want an off-roader and a daily driver and a luxury car and all that in one, that's where the Defender accomplishes that. And that's why this vehicle has been as popular as it has been, because the Wrangler and Bronco are really cool off-roaders, but they just aren't as daily drivable as this. That's going to sum things up for our video on this 2022 Land Rover Defender. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover here in downtown Salt Lake for giving me some time with the Defender. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I will see all of you in that next video.